Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Life and Faith with Primrose. I am so grateful that you are here. This is a space where we can talk honestly about life, faith, hope, and the things that we sometimes carry quietly. In our first episode, we spoke about what faith is. In the second episode, we spoke about living by faith when life feels uncertain. Today, I want us to have a gentle but honest conversation about finding peace in the storm. I want to talk about anxiety, pressure, racing thoughts, and what faith can look like when your heart does not feel calm. Maybe you know that feeling. You wake up and your mind has already started running. You're thinking about money, family, work, school, a relationship, your health, a decision, or something that happened in the past. Maybe you keep checking your phone, waiting for a message. Maybe you feel tired, but your thoughts will not let you rest. Maybe you are doing your best on the outside, but inside, you are carrying a lot. If that is you today, I want to begin with this. You are not weak because you feel anxious. You are not a failure because you are struggling to find peace. You are not less loved by God because you have questions, fears, or difficult days. Sometimes people think that faith means we should never feel worried. They think that if we really trust God, we should always be calm, confident, and strong. But that is not what a real life of faith looks like. Faith is not pretending that we never feel the storm. Faith is learning where to turn when the storm comes. Today, I want to walk with you through a few simple truths and practical faith practices. Not complicated things, not a message that puts more pressure on you. Just a reminder that you can slow down, bring your heart to God, take the next wise step, and begin again. Let us start by naming something clearly. Anxiety can be a very human response to stress, uncertainty, loss, pressure, or change. Sometimes it has a clear reason. You know exactly what is worrying you. Other times, it can feel like a heavy cloud, and you are not sure why it is there. Some of us were taught to hide our feelings. We learn to say, I am fine, even when we are not fine. We learn to keep moving, keep working, keep serving other people, and avoid saying that we are tired. But hiding a struggle does not make it disappear. It often makes the burden heavier. God is not asking you to hide your heart from Him. You do not have to come to God only when you feel strong. You do not need to make your prayers sound perfect. You can come honestly. You can say, Lord, I am overwhelmed. You can say, I do not know what to do. You can say, my thoughts are too loud today. You can say, please help me to breathe, to rest, and to take this one moment at a time. There is something powerful about being honest. Honesty is not hopelessness. Honesty is the beginning of healing, wisdom, and connection. When we can name what we are feeling, we are less likely to let it control us from the shadows. Perhaps you are anxious because you care deeply. You care about your children. You care about your future. You care about getting things right. You care about people you love. Caring is not wrong. But when care turns into constant fear, when your mind never rests, when you feel unable to carry the weight alone, that is a sign that you need support, rest, and a place to release the burden. Faith gives us a place to put the things that are too heavy for us. It does not always remove every concern in 1 second, but it reminds us that we were never meant to carry our whole future by ourselves. Think about a child carrying a heavy school bag. At first, they may try to carry it alone, but if the bag is too heavy, a loving parent does not stand far away and say, try harder. A loving parent comes close. They take some of the weight. They help the child keep moving. This is the picture I want you to hold on to today. God is not far away from the person who is struggling. God comes close. He invites us to bring the heavy bag of fear, regret, pressure, and uncertainty to Him. You may not be able to control every situation. You may not know how the story ends, but you can choose not to carry it alone. And let us say this with love and wisdom. Sometimes anxiety becomes too heavy to manage without extra help. If you are finding it hard to sleep,
function, care for yourself, concentrate, or feel safe, please speak to someone you trust and seek qualified support. A doctor, counselor, therapist, pastor, trusted family member, or another caring professional can help you find a path forward. Asking for help is not a lack of faith. It is an act of courage. Faith and professional support can work together. So what does faith look like when anxiety is present? Faith does not always look like a big speech or a dramatic breakthrough. Sometimes faith looks like a small pause. It looks like taking one slow breath before you react. It looks like saying one short prayer before you make a decision. It looks like choosing to tell the truth about how you feel instead of isolating yourself.
Faith can sound like this: God, I am afraid, but I will not let fear make every decision for me. Faith can sound like this: I do not know the future, but I know I can ask for wisdom today. Faith can sound like this: I am feeling overwhelmed, so I will take one thing at a time. The storm may still be around you, but faith helps you find your center again. We often want peace to mean that every difficult situation disappears. But real peace can exist even before the answer comes. Peace can be the quiet strength that says, I may not have all the information, but I do not have to panic. Peace can be the ability to rest for a moment, even when your to-do list is long. Peace can be the courage to take the next step while you are still waiting for clarity. Faith does not ask us to deny the facts. If there is a bill to pay, we can look at the bill. If there is a difficult conversation to have, we can prepare for the conversation. If we need medical care, legal advice, financial guidance, or emotional support, we can seek it. Faith is not avoiding reality. Faith is facing reality with God beside us. Sometimes anxious thoughts tell us that we must solve everything immediately. They whisper, if you do not fix this now, everything will fall apart. They push us to rush, to imagine the worst, and to carry tomorrow's problems today. But wisdom often says something different. Wisdom says, pause. What is actually happening right now? Wisdom says, what do I know, and what am I only assuming? Wisdom says, what is in my control today? Wisdom says, who can I speak to? When you bring an anxious thought into the light, it becomes easier to examine. You may find that some of your fear is based on a real problem that needs a practical response. That is okay. You can make a plan. But you may also find that some of your fear is based on a future you have imagined, not a future you know. You do not need to fight every thought by yourself. You can bring your thoughts to God. You can speak truth over your mind. You can say, this thought is frightening me, but it is not my master. You can say, I will not make a permanent conclusion because of a temporary feeling. You can say, I can take this one step at a time. The first practice is very simple. Pause, breathe, and pray. When anxiety rises, your body can feel as if there is an emergency, even when you are sitting safely in a room. Your heart may race, your shoulders may become tight, your thoughts may feel crowded. In that moment, it can help to create a small space between the feeling and your reaction. Pause. If you can, put both feet on the floor. Let your shoulders drop. Take a slow breath in. Hold it gently for a moment. Then breathe out slowly. You do not need to force yourself to feel perfect. You are simply telling your body, I am here. I am safe in this moment. I do not have to solve everything right now. Then pray a short prayer. You can use your own words. You might say, God, be near to me. You might say, Lord, give me peace for this moment. You might say, help me to see the next right step. You might say, I give you what I cannot control.
A short prayer does not have to be impressive. It just has to be honest. You can use this practice in the car before you drive somewhere stressful. You can use it before an email. You can use it before an interview, a meeting, an examination, or a difficult conversation. You can use it when you wake up in the middle of the night. You can use it while washing dishes, waiting in a queue, or sitting on the edge of your bed. The goal is not to make everything disappear in you. The goal is to interrupt this practice and remember that insanity is not the only there. God's presence, God's faithfulness, and God are available to you.
I am here. God is near. I will take one step at a time. Again, I am here. God is near. I will take one step at a time. Let that become a small anchor for you. The second practice is to name the thought and return to truth. Anxiety often speaks in very broad statements. It says, everything is going wrong. It says, nothing will ever change. It says, I cannot handle this. It says, everybody else is doing better than me. But when we slow down, we can ask, is this statement completely true? Or is it a feeling that has become very loud? For example, instead of saying, everything is going wrong, you might say, I am having a difficult day, and there are two things worrying me. Instead of saying, nothing will ever change, you might say, I do not see the answer yet. Instead of saying, I cannot handle this, you might say, I need support, and I can take the next small step. Notice what happens when we change the language. We are not pretending the problem is gone. We are bringing it down to a size we can face with wisdom.
Truth is not always a loud feeling. Sometimes truth is a quiet statement that we have to repeat. I have survived difficult days before. I can ask for help. I do not have to decide everything tonight. God is with me. I can rest. I can begin again tomorrow. You may want to write 3 or 4 truth statements on a piece of paper or in the Notes app on your phone. When your mind begins to race, open that note and read them slowly. Here are some examples you can borrow. I do not have to carry tomorrow today. I can do what is in front of me and release the rest to God. My feelings are real, but they are not my final authority. God is with me in this moment. I can reach out instead of withdrawing. I am allowed to rest. I am not behind because my journey has a different timeline. These statements are not magic words. They are reminders. They help us direct our attention away from panic and toward truth. Sometimes the most faithful thing you can do is to stop arguing with every fearful thought and simply say, I hear that I am afraid, but I choose to return to what is true. The third practice is to do the next wise thing. Anxious thoughts like to show us the whole mountain at once. They show us every possible problem, every future risk, every conversation, every responsibility, and everything we have not yet finished. No wonder we feel tired. But you do not have to climb the whole mountain today. You only need to find the next safe step. Ask yourself, what is the next wise thing I can do? Not the perfect thing, not everything. The next wise thing. It may be drinking water. It may be taking a shower. It may be writing down a list. It may be replying to one message. It may be making one appointment. It may be apologizing. It may be asking for advice. It may be resting because you are too tired to think clearly. It may be going for a short walk. It may be turning off your phone for 30 minutes. Small actions can help us feel less powerless. They remind us that even if we cannot control everything, we can still participate wisely in our own lives. If your worry is about money,
The next wise thing may be to list what you owe, look at your spending honestly, ask for advice, or search for a practical opportunity. If your worry is about a relationship, the next wise thing may be to have an honest conversation, listen well, set a healthy boundary, or give someone space. If your worry is about your future, the next wise thing may be to learn a skill, complete an application, ask a mentor for guidance, or take care of the responsibilities you have today. Please do not underestimate the power of one small action. A small action can become evidence that you are moving forward. It can become a doorway to confidence. It can become the beginning of a new rhythm. Faith is not passive. Faith says, I will do what I can with integrity, and I will trust God with the rest. The fourth practice is to stay connected and ask for help. When we are anxious, we often want to hide. We may not want to burden anyone. We may feel embarrassed. We may tell ourselves that everyone else has their life together. But isolation can make a difficult thought feel even bigger. There is strength in saying, I am having a hard day. There is strength in saying, can you pray for me? There is strength in asking, can we talk? Choose people who are safe, kind, and wise. Choose people who can listen without making you feel ashamed. This may be a friend, a parent, a sibling, a spouse, a pastor, a mentor, a counselor, or a health professional. You do not need a large group of people. Even one trustworthy person can make a difference. Sometimes another person can remind us of what we know but cannot remember when we are tired. They can help us see options. They can encourage us to rest. They can pray with us. They can help us take a practical step. And if your anxiety is persistent, severe, or interfering with your ability to live your everyday life, please do not wait in silence. Speak to a qualified mental health or medical professional. Faith can be part of your support, but you deserve care from trained people too. Seeking support is not giving up. It is choosing to care for the life God has entrusted to you. There is no prize for struggling alone. There is no shame in saying, I need help. Peace is not only something we look for in a crisis. Peace is also something we build through small daily rhythms. Think about the way you begin your morning. If the first thing you do is open your phone, you may immediately receive messages, news, demands, and other people's priorities. Before you know it, your heart is already racing. What would happen if you gave God the first few minutes of your day instead? You do not need an hour. Start with 5 minutes. Sit quietly. Take a breath. Say thank you for another day. Ask God for wisdom, peace, and strength. Read a short passage of scripture, or write down one truth you want to remember. You can create a simple morning prayer. God, guide my mind, my words, and my choices today. Help me to notice what is mine to do and release what is not mine to control.
A rhythm of peace also includes rest. Rest is not laziness. Rest is part of being human. We are not machines. We need sleep, food, movement, quiet, laughter, connection, and moments where we are not trying to prove anything. Sometimes our anxiety becomes louder because we have been carrying too much for too long. We say yes to everything. We feel responsible for everyone. We are always available. We never put the phone down. We do not give ourselves time to recover. You may need to ask yourself, where do I need a boundary? What is one thing I can reduce, postpone, delegate, or say no to? What would a more peaceful week look like? A boundary is not rejection. A boundary is a way of protecting what matters. It helps you care for your heart, your health, your relationships, and your responsibilities without becoming completely empty. You may also want to notice what helps you feel grounded. Maybe it is a walk outside. Maybe it is music that lifts your heart. Maybe it is cooking, gardening, journaling, reading, cleaning your space, spending time with people who make you laugh, or sitting quietly with a cup of tea.
These ordinary things can become part of your peace practice. They do not replace prayer. They can support the calm and space that helps you pray, think, and live wisely. Do not wait for a perfect season to care for yourself. Start with one small rhythm today. A big part of peace is learning to release what we cannot control. This is not easy because many of us believe that if we worry enough, think enough, plan enough, or replay the problem enough times, we will finally find safety. But worry is not the same as wisdom. Worry can keep us busy without actually helping us move forward. There are things that belong to your responsibility, and there are things that belong to God. Your responsibility may be to prepare, communicate, work, apologize, learn, show up, and make wise decisions. God's part is the future you cannot see, the hearts you cannot change, the opportunities you cannot force, and the timing you cannot control. Every day you may need to make this exchange again. God, I will do my part. I will take the next wise step, and I give you what is beyond my hands. This is surrender. Surrender is not giving up on life. It is giving up the burden of trying to be in control of everything. When you surrender, you make room for peace. You make room for wisdom. You make room to notice what is actually possible today. Maybe you can write down 2 lists this week. On one side, write what I can do. On the other side, write what I cannot control. Be honest. Then pray over the second list. Give it to God. Keep returning to the first list and take one wise action at a time. You may be surprised by how much lighter you feel when you stop carrying what was never yours to carry alone. I want to leave you with a gentle 7-day peace practice. This is not a test. It is not another list of things to do perfectly. It is simply a way to make space for faith, calm, and wise action in your week. On day 1, name one worry. Write it down honestly. Then write a short prayer beside it. God, I give you this worry. Help me with the next step. On day 2, take 5 quiet minutes before you look at your phone. Breathe slowly. Thank God for one thing. Ask for peace for the day ahead. On day 3, write down 3 truthful statements that you can return to when your mind is racing. Keep them somewhere easy to find. On day 4, do one next wise thing. It could be a phone call, an appointment, a message, a walk, a budget list, a conversation, or a moment of rest. Keep it simple. On day 5, speak to someone safe. Ask for prayer, share what is on your heart, or simply allow yourself to be heard. On day 6, take a break from something that feeds your anxiety. It may be constant scrolling, a negative conversation, too much news, or staying up too late. Choose one small boundary that helps you breathe. On day 7, look back and notice one sign of goodness. Maybe you felt calmer for 5 minutes. Maybe you asked for help. Maybe you completed one task. Maybe you rested. Maybe you were simply honest. Thank God for every small step. You can repeat this practice as many times as you need. Peace often grows slowly, through small choices that tell your heart, I am not alone. I am cared for. I can begin again. Before we finish, I want to pray for you. Father, I pray for every person who is listening today. You see the pressure they are carrying. You see the thoughts that make it hard for them to rest. You know the situations they cannot change, the questions they cannot answer, and the burdens they may not have spoken about to anyone else. Please bring peace to their hearts. Help them to slow down, to breathe, and to remember that you are near. Give them wisdom for the next step, and courage to ask for help when they need it. Help them to release what they cannot control, and to take wise care of the life you have given them.
Before we close, I want to give you a gentle moment to pause. If you are in a place where you can do so safely, let your shoulders relax. Take one slow breath in and let it go slowly. You do not have to fix your whole life in this moment. You do not have to have every answer before you can rest for a few seconds. Think about the one thing that has been weighing on your heart the most. It may be a person, It may be a decision. It may be a bill, a dream, a disappointment, or a question you have carried for a long time. You do not have to explain it perfectly. Just name it quietly in your heart. Now imagine placing that concern in God's hands, not because it does not matter, but because it matters too much to carry alone. You can say, God, this is heavy for me. I give it to you. Take another slow breath. Notice where you are. Notice the chair beneath you, the floor beneath your feet, the air around you. You are here. This moment is here, and God is near. If your thoughts start running ahead, you do not need to chase every one of them. Let them pass and return to one simple truth. I am not alone. God is with me in this moment. Maybe there is something you need to forgive yourself for. Perhaps you made a mistake. Perhaps you wish you had chosen differently. Perhaps you have been speaking harshly to yourself because you feel you should be stronger, faster, or further ahead. Let this be a moment of grace. You can learn from yesterday without living in punishment for yesterday. Say this quietly if you can. I am allowed to begin again. Maybe there is a decision in front of you. You do not have to force every answer today. Ask God for one clear next step. It may be a conversation, it may be rest, it may be an appointment, it may be a boundary, it may be courage to ask for help. Let the next step be enough for today. Say this quietly. God, show me the next wise step. Maybe you are carrying fear about what may happen tomorrow. Tomorrow matters, but you do not have to carry tomorrow before it arrives. There is grace for today. There is strength for today. There is wisdom for today. Say this quietly. I will do what is mine to do, and I will release the rest. Now think of one good thing that is still present in your life. It might be small, a person who cares about you, a safe place to sleep, a meal, a new day, a lesson you have learned, a small piece of hope. Let yourself be thankful for that one good thing. Gratitude does not deny the hard things. It simply reminds us that the hard things are not the only things in our story. Take one more slow breath. As you breathe out, release some of the pressure to be perfect. Release the pressure to have every answer. Release the pressure to carry everything alone. You are allowed to be human. You are allowed to need rest. You are allowed to need people. You are allowed to need God. And when you leave this moment, you do not need to run. Carry only one thing with you, the next faithful step. It may be small, but it is enough. God can meet you there.
For the person who feels alone, please bring safe people around them. For the person who feels tired, please give them rest. For the person who feels overwhelmed, please give them one clear next step. For the person who is afraid, please remind them that fear does not have the final word. Let hope rise again. Let peace return, even if it returns slowly. And let every listener know that they are seen, loved, and not walking alone. Amen. Thank you so much for spending this time with me on Life and Faith with Primrose. If this episode encouraged you, please share it with someone who may need a little peace and hope today. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What is one small practice that helps you return to peace when life feels heavy? Remember this, peace is not pretending that there is no storm. Peace is knowing where to turn in the storm. You are not alone. You can take one breath, one prayer, and one faithful step at a time. Until next time, take care of yourself, keep the faith,
And remember, life does not have to be hard. We are in this together, one day at a time.